Hello, thank you for joining me with my unboxing video of the Mythic Odysseys of Theros miniatures. This is Luna. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to be starting off with the Icons of the Realm Polukranos, the World Eater. This is from the premium set. I happened to get this for about $60 at my local Citadel gaming shop. So let's open it up. Let me get some scissors. Because I personally want to keep my box kind of nice for storage. So the World Eater is one of those big bad evil guys you can have in your campaign for the Mythic Odysseys of Theros. And for those that don't know, Mythic Odysseys of Theros is based from the Magic the Gathering trading card game from the Theros set. Dungeons and Dragons has been working with Magic the Gathering for a little bit now. They first started with the Guilds of Ravnica set a while ago. Excuse me. And now they have started working with with Theros, which is a Greek and Roman styled realm, which I really love Greek and Roman. So this is a pre-painted miniature of Polukranos. Excuse me, I'm probably going to say this name a couple times wrong. Let's see if we can get that detail of the heads in here. So again, I got this for about $60 on pre-order at my local Citadel game shop. I also, which we'll open up in a little bit, got a, I think it's a brick, about 8 miniatures that are blind boxes. So I'm hoping I got some of the characters that my players are running, because we are doing like many people are doing right now, online and video chat. So I kind of want to get all the miniatures together so that way I can show them where they are, and it makes our combat go a little bit easier. So, and this is just for the underside. So really nicely detailed. I really like it. Now it's Polukranos. So I'll put him away in just a little bit. Now this is for my players, because they're going to get excited seeing this box get opened up. So let me know in the comments if you are running a Theros module or not. This is my first time DMing, so it'd be kind of interesting to see what y'all are doing for Theros. I also want to kind of get to know like what kind of players y'all are running too, because my group is a little varied. We're running some people who are from the plane of Theros, and we have one person who is not. So I'm kind of interested to see how DMs and players are working in those characters that are not from the plane of Theros. So I'm just going to run over the box real quick. So it says 4 collectible figures inside. I got 8 boxes. So we're going to see what I get today. Hopefully no repeats. But this might just be a little bit of a spoiler to my players, just because of they might get to see what future bad evil guys are going to show up. Now I do believe that these boxes are going to be running somewhere between $14 and $16 depending on your location. I think my game store was going to charge about $14.95 per box. I got a little bit of a deal because I bought a brick of 8. So we're gonna see now who I got inside this one. Ooh. All right. Ooh, all right. So first up, we got some in plastic, and then we got one kind of crammed in here. So I'm going to try and not break her free. Excuse the crunching. All right, so we got number 31 of 45. Let's see. The Thought Renderer Lamia. So these aren't Lamia like what I would usually think of with, you know, pretty lady with a snake body. This is more of a, I'd almost say like the chimeras, except it has a lady's head, lion's front, and goat's back end, or horse's back end. Pretty creepy and terrifying though. Can't imagine that it's going to be fun to fight. Alright. We're going to start our first plastic wrap. Alright. Next one, we have number 21 of 45. We have a Nymph of an Oread. So this is going to be basically the flame spirits or flame nymphs. We're going to see if we can get that. I really like the translucent flame that they got going around this one. That's kind of circling her, or it. I did kind of get a preview peek at some of these. I don't remember which ones are supposed to be common, which ones are supposed to be rares. Over at, I forget what it was. I think it was Minis Gallery. They have a pretty nice selection. I was actually recommended to go there from my local game store. All right, we got number 2 of 45, the Acroan Hoplite, which is nice. So his spear is just a little bent, which is a little upsetting, but that's something easy to fix. Also looks like the paint got a little smudged, but again, nothing that can't be fixed. And it's also kind of what you run the risk of getting a blind box like this. They're not like the nice fancy packaged singletons. Alrighty. Last one for the first box. We have number 3 of 45, which is an Oracle. Oracles are specialty creatures to Theros. A lot of these are specialty creatures to Theros. I think all of them are. Oh, jeez. I haven't gotten a chance to look quite at their builds yet for the monster manual, but they do look pretty interesting. Alright, we're going to put him down. Alright, and box 1 is done. I might make this a multi-parter just because my phone might not record all of this. So we will see. Please join me if I do have to make this a multi-parter. Ooh, I got a big guy in this one. I don't know about you guys, but I always get really excited getting a big one. Because I can just show them off if I'm not playing. Like I can have them behind me on my desk. Alright, so this one is number 33 of 45. We got the Emissary of Erebos, who is one of the gods. Lord of the Dead in Theros. So some really nice detail. The horns are not bent too much. They are kind of connected on here, which I would have liked them if they weren't. But that's just me nitpicking. What I do have to say is nice is it has let's see if you can get in on that inside of its mouth. It does have sort of an extra glossy paint for the inside of its mouth. Alrighty. looks like we have another nymph. And this one's a naiad. It's number 15 of 45. And this is a water nymph. So I believe there's 4 different types of these, of the nymphs in Theros. I want to say there's the Oread, the Naiad, the Lampad, which is going to be a like dark spirit, and then the, I'm going to say it wrong, the Alicid, which is like a light spirit or a light nymph. All right. Next up we have 22 of 45, Triton, Master of Waves. Also seems to have an extra little stamp. Do the other ones have extra little stamps? Yes, they did. Okay, that was just something I didn't notice before. So one of the new player creature type or player character types to be added is Tritons, which is pretty exciting. I always like merfolk. I believe they come with a special spell where you can control water. Don't mark me on that one. I know they have some sort of spell over water. I just don't quite remember the exact name of it. But I do kind of like their lore of how they get blinged out and everything. Or some are. You might not choose to have your character displayed that way. Let's see. Last one for this box. Number 4 of 45, Anvil Raptor. Let's see. Anvil Raptor, which is not a raptor, but a sky raptor, a hawk. Which is really nice. Let's see. All right, gonna go on to box number 3. And so far, I haven't gotten to the ones that I'm looking for, but I'm hoping I will get them. Oh, this one came out of its plastic. So, since he's eager, we're gonna start with him. Ooh! Alright, so we got one of the ones I was looking for, of a 2-headed Cerberus, number 11 of 45. And look at the cute little pupper. He just wants to rip your face off, that's all. Oh. I can't wait that if I have him in my campaign, that if one of my players I know is going to try and see if they can become friends with this Cerberus. Because everyone, at least all the games that I run, have been in and played, it seems like every other person wants a pet of some sort. And the only other time that I got a pet, I'll just say, was a weasel, which did not like me. I kept doing low rolls every time. I was trying to make friends with it, and I think the closest it and my character ever got was, which was a ranger at the time, was it peeing on my shoulder. And I forever had a cloud of smell until we were able to take a long rest and I showered. Which we ended up having to run a whole dungeon of me smelling like weasels. That was fun times. Anyways, the next one we got is Ghostblade Eidolon, which is number 18 of 45. There we go. Alrighty. Now, the special thing with the Eidolons in Theros, there is a special thing with, if creatures die, they have a chance to come back as the dead, as returned. But that's only their physical body, though. Their spirits become these special type of spirits. They're separate from the nymphs. They become Eidolons, and they kind of just become disjointed from. They have their memories, unlike their physical bodies of the returned, which are said to not have any memory. These Eidolons, they will remember their past, to the point where, like this one, the Ghostblade, will sometimes choose to stay in the battlefield or the place of where they died forever, thinking that they haven't won. And then there's also the chance that they just kind of don't care. They're kind of like, yeah, that was my life. Nah. I'm just gonna like loom around here and be creepy. Alrighty. Next one is, oh, though we got a, right away I can tell it's a nymph, and it is the Lampad that I was talking about earlier. Number 5 of 45. So these are dark nymphs. They usually run for the gods of the pantheon in Theros that are more associated with the dead, more associated with darkness. So we got Erebos, Phaenax, somewhat Crufix. I'm sure there's a couple others. Fans of MTG and people who have read the Theros book a little bit more than I have at this point could think of. But I do like the it's a little hard to see. You can kind of see it through the head here if I move like my hand for the shadow, the translucency it has, which is nice. The other ones kind of had it too. Makes them really kind of feel like they're little spirits. Alright, and the big one for this guy. We have a Nightmare, number 29 of 45. It's the straight up Nightmare horse, which, if this thing was chasing me, I'm pretty sure I would start crying. Because I can't run for anything. But that's why I play fantasy games, because I can't do much in real life. And to be honest, I haven't read much in the monster manual, but for some of these big ones, I know a little bit about them, like I glanced over them, but because I'm just started running a module, I haven't planned too far ahead, just in case my players accidentally die or decide to go murder hobo. You know, it tends to be one or the other when you start a new campaign, so we'll see. But he will probably show up later on as my players prove that they are not going to kill everyone and everything. Or they do, and that thing's going to come after them to give them retribution. Alright, so this is going to be the last box, and then I will make a part 2, because I have a feeling that my phone is not going to record a little bit past 25 minutes, so we'll see. I also got to clean up some of the boxes that are starting up. Alright. So we're going to start with the big one that I just got. Here. Sorry again for the crinkling. Alright, so this one looks like how I feel sometimes. This one's Emissary of Thassa. It's number 27 of 45. And, he's just a bit crabby. I have one of my players in here in the room and I could just hear them sigh at that pun. And not looking forward to hearing more puns if I get this guy in. The interesting thing, and I think you can kind of see it underneath, is the translucency, but also the sparkles. Because with the emissaries... And let me see if the snake had it too. I don't think so, because the snake's pretty golden covered. But a lot of creatures that are created by the gods, one of their telltale signs that they are from the land of Nyx, which is the other side of where the gods live, and separate from the mortal plane, is that if there was to be shadow cast on them, you're going to see... like you're going to see the night sky and stars reflected where there should be shadows. In fact, actually, the nymphs do the same thing here. I'm just trying to look at this again. The Lampad kind of has a little bit of sparkle mixed in, not a whole lot. Yeah, it looks like also the water one has just a little bit of that sparkle mixed in. Not a whole lot, just enough to reflect some light and try and give you that idea that they are made up from stars. All right. So it looks like we have completed now the nymph selection. This is the Alseed. I'm not sure how I pronounced it earlier. Again, this one's the one I have trouble pronouncing. It's number 8 of 45. This one is the light-bearing one, typically seen among long fields of grass. Some of the lore for this one was that farmers will leave them like food and good wine in hopes that they will bless the crops and help them. So this is definitely a good spirit or a good nymph. I'm not saying the other ones aren't, except for the lampad. They tend to be on the darker side of things. Alright, and we have Leonin Swiftclaw, number 10 of 45. So Leonins were another new playable race that was added to Theros. They're commonly found throughout Theros. Typically, Leonins do not praise the gods. So if you're running a Theros campaign, there is these new boons that they have added that if you do things in service to the gods around Theros, the god that your character worships, your DM might say that you have gained what's called piety, and you can earn different boons as you raise your piety level with them. Leonins don't, so they tend to have what's called an iconoclast. One of my characters has this effect on them, and it's really interesting. They can cast protection from evil and good. At later levels, they can cast dispel evil and good, that sort of thing. But the Leonin classes are pretty interesting. They are warrior classes. And that's about all I can think of because my brain is dying. Alright, the last one from this box. Ooh, and I just talked about this one a little bit earlier with the Eidolon. This is going to be a returned. This one specifically is a returned sentry, number 14 of 45. Returned sentries are the little bit higher level type of returned that's in the monster manual portion of the Theros book. Lower level is Drifter. I accidentally had my level 1 players going up against the sentry and almost killed everyone. But luckily, my rolls halfway through started being very bad, so they lived. But yeah, these are the returned. They wear gold masks, and they lose all sense of self if they choose to don the gold mask. There are chances that you can keep your sense of self and not become enthralled to Erebos by choosing to wear the gold mask. Crufix is well, no, he did lose his sense of self. Fenix, sorry, I'm being corrected. It's not Crufix. Crufix is the really old guy. Wow. Alright. Anyways, so that is the other half of what can happen when you die. So please join me for part 2. Thank you again for watching me do an unboxing of the Mythic Odysseys of Theros. We have quite a little selection going right now. We've gotten a couple pieces of what I'm looking for. I didn't mention what I was looking for earlier. Aside from the nymphs, particularly and the returned, since my playset's going to be featuring quite a few returned. I'm also looking for the new player character races. So I have a Triton and a Leonin. Unfortunately, none of my players are running Tritons and Leonins. So I'm specifically looking for Minotaurs, a Centaur, and a Satyr. So let's hopefully in the next 4 boxes that I do, we will get them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.